Opinion: the very good and very bad news on climate. In this episode, I'm opening with the headline saying, the very good and very bad news on climate. Sounds a mash-up, but that's what's on the table. The good side is that green power is speeding up, slashing costs, and outperforming fossil fuels at a pace most of us forgot was possible. In April, the think tank Ember reported a startling fact: every new kilogram of electricity demand worldwide in 2025 is already being met by renewable sources. Imagine that clean energy eclipsing the old, dirty ones by the end of the decade. It's wild, and it's happening. But the bad news rolls in just as loudly. Climate change isn't pausing to listen. We're uncovering that the climate system is more fragile, more sensitive to emissions than we previously believed. Europe is already deep in a scorching heat wave, and the world is staring at a potentially powerful El Niño that could push the planet into an even more extreme pattern. Politically, the mess is equally disturbing. Donald Trump's administration has gutted the Inflation Reduction Act, slashing support for renewable technologies while accelerating fossil fuel production. A clip from a former president fumbles through a rant about wind power, claiming, "Wind doesn't work whatsoever, ruining our valleys and killing birds," while downplaying its real-world affordability and reliability. So why still talk about climate at all? Because progress is unstuck in the midst of despair. Bill McKibben joins us on the show. He's a respected environmental scholar, co-founder of 350.org, a writer for The New Yorker, and author of a recent book called Here Comes the Sun, A Last Chance for the Climate and a Fresh Chance for Civilization. Bill's perspective is hopeful. He reminds listeners the misconception that cleanliness equates to costliness. On the contrary, he says renewable energy has become the Costco of energy, cheap, ready on store shelves, and accessible to the masses. We talk poisoning the old. We talk the hard truth that fossil fuels can no longer pull the economy. In that context, Bill helps shift the narrative. The new generation of policy could see decarbonization as a pathway to prosperity rather than sacrifice. Clean power isn't simply a trade-off, it's a new source of wealth that can fuel innovation, create jobs, reduce pollution, and spark a new sense of well-being. When we bring that into policy, the future looks not only sustainable but surprisingly bright. If we take advantage of the last chance we have, we will leave a world that dola with a better environment for children and grandchildren. The reality is, we can either keep doing the same and watch the weather tightens its grip on us, or we can adopt energy that's abundant or, as Bill calls it, standing at the threshold of a better place. So what's next? The conversation is moving from crisis talk to opportunity talk. A clean future is possible, and renewable technologies are already there, growing, learning, and anti-inflationary. The world must immediately turn the conversation into action. Innovations for sustainable utilities provide a bridge we can walk on, not an obstacle. That's the message. The good news is that we can now buy green power at the price of a new electricity home battery or a rental solar farm. The bad news is that we still must act now before another heat wave forces a tipping point. Bill's message summarizes the world: climate change isn't only a battle, it is also the subject of progress. The future, if we ignore the good news, will be a detriment. If we embrace it, we can shape a good weather path. Thank you for listening. The next time you turn on the light, cutie, remember that what's powering your home might well be a story you want to support. The Karen. Sign off. Stay curious. Stay hopeful. Stay involved. Until next time.